Did it again. I started the stream and then I didn't click on the YouTube. Sorry, Russell. All the cool people are on Twitch. Yeah, all the cool people are on Twitch. Anyway, so, and you get ad-free viewing. Yeah, yeah. With Prime. Yep. Yep. That is true. All right. I actually don't have a ton of pens to work on today, so if I get done early, I think we'll either just, we'll shoot the breeze. You saw the YouTube notification? Yeah. We'll shoot the breeze, or we will, I don't know, I'll leave early. Need to make a call, be back later. All right. Go make some money or something. Whatever it is you're doing. All right, let's take a look at the bench. All right, this guy from yesterday. I got a couple 51s we're going to look at. Actually, I got a nib section in the ultrasonic. I'm going to turn that back on. Thanks, Russell, for the prod. I have two screens open at the same time, and because I had some people complain on Twitch. They run 3 minutes of ads per hour. So what I do is I run the ads right away, and it gets them out of the way, and while I'm getting ready and getting stuff on, and then I forget to go back to the YouTube page, which is on a different screen, and hit start. What'd you miss? Just talk about the new Esterbrook website development, stuff you can't see. I already changed it again, because the last time when I started doing it, it was run 15 minutes ads per hour, make serious money. Yeah. I mean, I guess for you and Gabriel, you won't notice a difference. I'd probably annoy the crap out of anybody that raids in. That's for sure. Oh, hang on. I got it. Speaking of Esterbrook stuff, my daughter just texted me. She's editing images right now. So, all right. So anyway, yeah, I'm just I'm trying to squeeze in 45 minutes, an hour of serious work every day. I think I'm pretty close to copying over pretty much all the content from the old site. And then once I get that done, then I have a few other things to do. Then I'm just waiting on images. And while I'm waiting for that, then I can add in new research, update the nib sheets, which I was working on because as I was going through emails yesterday, I was reminded of a couple of different nibs that I didn't actually have on my nib sheet. my nib list, which I believe to be the most complete and accurate, and that's the key word, accurate representation. Others have lists that are either accurate but not complete, or not complete and not accurate. And they list nibs that they assume existed because, there's my note, because they existed in a 2000 and a 3000 and a 9000 or whatever series. And when pressed for proof that they exist, nothing. But anything on my list I've either verified existed in a catalog, in an ad, or I own or have an image. A decent enough quality image that there's no question. Like I just received, I was looking through and I forgot about one that was not on the list that is quite unusual. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a misprint. Very well could be, but I know it exists. Sorry, my daughter's actively working, so I gotta respond to this message here. It's a good looking image though. Holy cow. It's going to be fun to replace all the old images that I did in a light tint on a gray background. Well, it's a nice pen. Yeah, nice, real nice. All right. All right, I'm going to spin that, and then we got some 51s. I thought for a minute today I was going to have to look into buying a new computer. My iMac that I use for shipping and everything, basically everything. Hello, me. Okay. Lisa just came in. I thought for a minute today I was going to have to be ordering a new computer. It was not behaving nicely. I mean, those days are those days are coming. But thankfully not today. I don't. I pretty much leave it running all the time. Occasionally, very rarely do I reboot, only if I have to. And I just decided today was not running. So we were going to reboot, and it was the most, what's the word? You know, when you reboot a machine, you really ought to reboot it and then like go do something else for like 20 minutes. That's really what ought to happen, and I didn't do that. I just sat there and watched it. All right, we got a dustpan. I don't trust that sack. Could be okay. Not chancing it. All right. Well, let's see how well these come off. Nothing like a stubborn 51. Ow. Where's our friend Juicy these days? I haven't seen her in a while. There we go. We have to contact Cornwall, do a search for her. It actually looks pretty clean, doesn't it? That's how I like them to come off, right there. Ah, don't want to lose this part. Actually is a little spot for that little guy. Get going. This actually isn't too bad. Mm. All right, let's see. Let's see how this turned out. This should be pretty straightforward. This was actually pretty clean. And put together properly. Okay, sack fills, so we're good on this. Yeah, I gotta love the easy ones. They don't quite make up for the difficult ones. There it is. Nope. Even better when you can turn them like that without having to pull them out. Again, save yourself the hassle. If it works, don't trouble yourself with replacing that sack. You are highly likely to do more damage trying to get it off just so you can have a clear sack than you will if you just leave it. Now, if you happen to have the later ones that have a threaded sack protector housing, then you can check, if you must, how the sack feels against that section nipple so you can take it off if you need to. Now, these were sold to me as restored, so, oh, isn't that interesting? So thus not a lot of work to be done here. Basically check, clean, reinsert. course, the nib doesn't want to go all the way in. There we go. Perfect. Let's get some stuff for this guy. Trying to use up this little bit of silicone in here. That might be one of the original silicone grease jars that I ever used. This one's got a nice base, kind of unusual. Or I guess a little different, not unusual, but a little different than your normal. I can tell if I'm getting the screw or not there. There we go. Get that little vent hole clean. All right, that was pretty straightforward. Okay, what do we got here? We might as well try these 51s right now. If they're good, we'll clean them. We'll seal them up. Boom, done. Bob's your uncle. Six, six. Always nice when the number of pushes equals what's on the housing. a little bit of a alignment issue. There we go. Which one was this? Was that this one? Yeah. Decent luster light caps. All right, let's try the black. Your basic. That one I got about 5. It said 4, so I don't think I pressed on it very hard the first time, so that's about right. Oh, I get the old band hammer out. Independence Mike rating with the party of 28. Hello, everybody. Welcome. What's going on? Thanks for the raid, Mike. Dustin the banana duck. How's it quacking? Good, right? We got a couple 51s today. Olive, how you doing? And a touchdown death set. And then, is that a 51? The party must really be starting. Yeah. It's almost over with. I hope your call was good, because no more 51s for me today after these. This one is this one needs a little bit of nib tuning, and then it's probably good. I don't know if you saw the Carmine Balance finish up, but that turned out to be a decent pen for what it is. I do, as much as some days I don't want to. I mean, there are legitimately days that I don't want to stream, right? I don't want to repair pens. And I've always said, if you are not in the mood to repair pens, if you're tired, you're depressed, you're angry, even if you're happy, really happy, you're not in the mood to repair pens, don't repair pens. These pens have waited long enough. They can wait one more day. But it is nice that I have dedicated time, even if I cut it short and it's only 2 hours. I've got dedicated time every day, and so when this guy comes in the morning, shy of a little polish, it is ready to. It's done and ready to go, literally the next day. Yeah, there's something in there. I was like, that doesn't seem right. I think it was a clutch pencil on this one too. Yeah. I think the twist pencil came later, if I'm not mistaken. Well, I need to get a 51 out. I'm gonna do a little bit of polishing on this though. I think that guy's just about spent. It's always you should re-ink your 51 desk pen. I should get one. There's something not. It's like fine, but there we go. I get it. There we go. Well, I have got a nice 51 set. It just happens to be up on the website for sale. And until I can get decent storage set up for desk sets, unless it's Esterbrook, I got to be very highly selective. All right. Well, these three pens here are the last of that big group of pens that we bought a couple weekends ago. So it'll be nice to get them. They should be able to be photographed next week. Get on the websites. Got a little bit waylaid with some consignment stuff that came in the last 2 weeks, so I haven't really put much new up. All right, we'll spin these out, and then we'll seal the hoods, and then those guys are done. Eh. Always make sure it lines up. Lisa and I were talking last night about something that we're going to do on the podcast today, talking about colors. And probably for the last 2 or 3 hours before I woke up this morning, I was literally in a half awake state, half dream, going through my head as to what pens I had that were of those particular colors that we were discussing. Somehow I still got a good sleep score. Because I was looking for very particular colors that I have in the store, and I couldn't. My brain was having a hard time trying to think. Like, I'm going through, literally mentally going through the cases. You need the cat to stop her 5:30 a.m. feeding request. Your sleep score is dipped. I would love if my cat waited till 5:30 to wake me up. He's adorable. He's absolutely adorable. Because he usually sleeps right next to me for most of the night. And then he gets up and he goes, whatever, goes downstairs, whatever. But then he comes up about like between 3 and 4 every night. Jumps on the bed. Of course, he jumps up on Lisa's side of the bed, hops, walks over her, and he's 16 pounds, so he's not light. Walks over her to get to me when he could have just jumped on my side of the bed in the first place, but logic to a cat, I don't know. And then walks up next, because I always leave room for him, because he's going to come there anyway. I leave room for him next to me. And he walks up to me and headbutts me in the face every morning between like 3:15, 4:15. Then he settles down, and then like 45 minutes, and then he'll get up when Lisa gets up, and Lisa gets up a little bit before me. And then he gets up and he does the same thing. He headbutts you, and then he starts licking. It's time to get up. Let's go. Go, 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 go. No, 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 no. All right. So we got another batch of, what are these called? Pastels. That's what they're called. Just because I love this country green color. I just love it. Fantastic. Need heat. Oh, hey, there's another original sack. Hard as a rock, though. Maybe I need to start being a little bit more choosy on the ones that I keep. Or not, just because it's hilarious. I mean, I guess I kept that Conway nib, a Conway sack, huh? All right, so we got Country Green, Aloha Golds, whatever that blue's called, and whatever that gray is called. Inevitably, my cat jumps up on the bed 5 to 10 minutes before my alarm is supposed to go off. Every day. And we get up. Monday is different from Tuesday, is different from Wednesday, is different from Thursday, is different from Friday, is different from Saturday, is different from Sunday. Every day is different. Now, Mondays and Wednesdays are exactly the same. And during the winter, Fridays are the same as Mondays and Wednesdays. But he somehow knows. He probably just hears Lisa's alarm. I would be fine if you did the headbutt thing, but then just laid down. My fingers are getting sore here. Let me see. With these short sections, sometimes the pliers is better. And I like to rotate it. So I'm not pulling on the same spot. Oh, there we go. And you can see they had something in there. There's an original. Got the imprint on it. Now Todd's making those again because he's got the actual stamp that was used for those sacks, but I think I forget what he wants for a bag of them. It's like a lot of money for something that you're never going to see. And apparently it takes forever to dry. All right. Let's see what nibs we got. You just need a bunch of demonstrators to make those sacks worth the cost. Yeah, you know, I mean, that may be like one pen that I wouldn't ever open. You know, I mean, I'm not afraid to open up a Mandarin Senior. Um, couple other things, but it does Esterbrook Demonstrator. Oops, I guess I got to write the nibs down. Yeah, I forget what he was asking for those. I mean, you know, it's a whole lot of work for not much. I get it. So I'm not criticizing the cost, but it was like a lot considering no one's going to know. It's quite the novelty though. And you can be sure that if I had that stamp, I would probably do the same to my nibs. I would know. Yeah, I would know. It's like when I used to restore all the old Esterbrooks I had, I would put those old sacks on. I don't know where I was getting them from. Oh, this one's going to be a joy. Huh? Look at that. You can see the sheen on that nib. Just want to get them loose a little bit. They'll clean out better. There's enough ink left in there that you could fill it with water and it would make, yeah, probably. It's going to make, I have relatively clean ultrasonic water. It's going to be blue by the end of the day for sure. Gary, how you doing? How's everything in your neck of the world? We are doing fantastic. It is 2:30 on a Thursday. We got some Esterbrooks to clean up. We got 2 couple 51s done. We got a nice Carmine Balance done. We got a touchdown on ready to test for Monday. I love Thursdays. I got a lot of stuff done today. Going to do a podcast this afternoon. Pretty clean. Ever since my ride into work, I've been thinking of Chinese food. My local diner has a new stir fry, a Korean stir fry that is something serious. Very nice. So I had leftovers for lunch. It was just Chinese. I know I'm thinking Chinese all day. Will you be showing your new desk set today on the podcast, or are you worried everyone will try to buy it if you show it? I am not telling anybody about that. Nobody knows. Everybody's seen it. That's my defense. No need to bring up old news. It holds a place of honor next to the... No, don't worry about it. It holds a place of honor next to the desk set. Desk set debacle that I tried to get last year in Columbus. And then when I went back to buy it on the last day of the show, it was sold. And I found another one at another table, except that the day before, Rob Bader had sold the trumpet off of it. But it was in better condition than the one that I missed out on in the morning. And then later that afternoon, David sends me pictures from an estate sale, and there's a pen in there that has the trumpet that I need for the set, and we finally get it hooked up in May with the pen, so it sits next to that right now on top of my parts. Oh. Run out of juice. Not even Lisa? Lisa doesn't need to know about desk sets. If she's watching, I don't have any desk sets. Well, thank goodness that one's in pretty good shape, because my battery is put. Colorful Estes, yes! Excuse me for a second, I'm going to plug this guy into the charger. Country Green, Aloha Gold, whatever they called this blue, we don't know yet. Light blue and gray. I'm trying to get my pastel case down to a reasonable number. And pastels seem to sell better than regular Esterbrook's these days, so. Before I put these in, we'll check this. We'll check the threads. Anyone else noticing intermittent freezes? I do have a high dropped frame rate today for some reason. Very high frame rate. I don't normally pay attention to that unless somebody mentions something, but how long has it been since you rebooted your PC and or network stuff? This machine, you know, unfortunately, we get power outages here every once in a while. So this machine's probably been rebooted in the last month. Or the drop frame rate stopped now for some reason. Network equipment, almost never. Well, I mean, that goes with the power outages, so. You bet it would work flawlessly if you switched from a Mac to a PC, huh? Huh. I bet you could also collect lakesides. Is it too much? Is it too much? What am I doing with the X-Acto blade and the lever mechanism there? What I'm doing is I just go. This is an exceptionally dull blade. It is very dull. You're right. I could. And I'm just, you know, oftentimes you get ink buildup and you get crud that builds up in this lever box area, and I just go in there and I kind of just scrape it off. And then I just double check if there's anything in here that needs to be removed. You know, any rust on this spring, any rust in here, dirt in here, anything on the rail there. But like I say, it's incredible. I mean, this thing is so dull, it's unbelievable. This is not the X-Acto I need if I need to actually cut something. Yeah, my connection is going wonky here. Let's see. It could be my local service too, because my other machine was really not very happy earlier. I could reboot the router later today and could also be the local service, you know. And then you can also use this to go in the threads, and sometimes you get stuff that gets caked in there and you can just kind of get it out. Like this all here looks, this is mostly ink. But you can see like in here, there's just a bunch of stuff in there that can just be. So you can just kind of. Can kind of start to scrape it off and it looks a little bit better. Usually you get somebody who polished the pen, so you get polished that gets in there, and you don't notice it until it dries, and then it dries white. And you're only going to see this area when you fill the pen, if you're paying attention. But I want it to look good. So we'll see how much of this comes off. Tell people they need to not wax their pens. It's tedious to clean up. Yeah, don't wax your pens. Don't use museum wax. Yeah, there's most of that was ink. Waxing pens is evil. You have to take risks sometimes to get them clean. Yeah. Carmel Vineyard. Thanks for the follow. I like caramel. It's probably caramel, isn't it? I'm guessing. Forgot to get in here. Honest swearing a few dings are good things. They're part of an object's history. Yeah, yeah. That's why I've been reluctant over the years to even consider reblacketing, but the products we have access to now are really quite good. And, well, you know what? I'll put these in there. You're on the work and lurk. And yes, it's Carmel. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Well, you know, I don't know. It's like I'm thinking of Chinese food today, and I'm like, oh, caramel. I would love some caramel. Wouldn't that be great? And that would sound like a really good wine. You have very good black enamel spray paints today. Hello, fellow worker lurker. Yeah, doesn't a nice caramel sound good right about now? A little chocolate. I'm just going to clean all those caps. Where did I leave off? This one. Is it time for tour talk? 2:48 in the afternoon. Have not seen anything from today. Looking forward to watching it tonight. Jasper Philipson's win yesterday was, I'm disliking him less and less. I think he's mellowed out quite a bit. He's less cocky because I think he's not winning all the races. But it was a good stage yesterday. A good win. Honest win. You do use that as your pronunciation example to try to avoid people comparing you to the brown sugary substance. Yeah, I think we're going to reboot that router before the podcast today. Well, if I reboot right now, then I'm not sure how the heck I'm going to make sure I get back in. It'll probably just kick me off the... You've had awful issues with Microsoft Teams all day and intermittent connection issues with Twitch. Here was a little worse with the issues than other places I've been, but it's also recovering without me refreshing with... is refreshing. Yeah, I'm gonna end probably a little bit early today, so I'll have time to take care of that. You used to have to reboot, but you got fiber now. I'll ask Lisa if she had problems too. It just could be. Could be the local service. We oftentimes make the assumption that the problem is on our end. Well, this is an educational sample. I forgot about this one, yeah. Well, that's pretty clean. This one was not sampled very much. In fact, there's a little bit of plastic still in the threads. All right, let's put these back in. Let's get the nibs out of the ultrasonic. Oh, you know, I didn't look at those caps on those 51s. I got to do that, don't I? Well, yeah, troubleshooting on this end is obviously the easiest thing to do. But by experience, though, the provider rarely admits fault. Unless you happen to have like an in with a customer service rep, in which case, then sometimes they'll say, well, yeah, we're having issues. I'll reboot everything. Let me talk to your supervisor. Anybody ever see Foamy the Squirrel? Anybody know Foamy? Foamy's got a great cartoon for IT support. You know Foamy. All right. I actually used to have I don't think I have it anymore. I think when I moved it got purged. I used to have a Foamy clock. My friend, my office mate, bought it for me one year. It was kind of funny, back when I was still in the IT trade. That's old. Is it old? I don't know. I mean, maybe. I probably got it in, oh, I don't know. Don't know what year. What are you guys calling me old? What's going on here? Old is when you talk to someone and they remember the cartoon Babar. Oh, yeah. Foamy the squirrel. I can hear him in my head, but I can't even hear the cartoon anymore. I got to look that up later today. Guess I don't remember that. It's about an elephant that's the king of his kingdom. Oh, okay. I'm roughly familiar with it. I would say the foamy squirrel cartoon that I'm thinking of was from 2010, 2012, somewhere in that era. Is it 2003? No. It can't be 2003. Maybe? That seems too old. You'll have to check. I thought you were working and lurking. You're proving me old is what you're doing. If that's I mean, could it be? I try because I'm envisioning my office when I got this clock, and the clock is obscene. It's it's foamy flipping you off. So I mean I can't have that up in my office. That's not gonna work. I think in that job I got 2000 and yourself 2000 and 2001, probably close to 2003 when I moved. 2004. Oh, don't worry, David. I will send you a link. It's been on YouTube 17 years, so you're closer than I am. All right, okay, all right, guys. Enough's enough. I gotta. All right, hang on. All right, let me find it. With all the issues, I'm not gonna. "17 years ago," it says. Yeah, 17 years ago. So what does that make? 2009. All right, I said 10 to 13. Yeah. So, link. All right. You checked the non-HD version? Yeah, that's probably right. It's probably right. It's close enough for government work, as my dad used to say. Consult my list here. Did you miss the Tour de France discussion and another rant? No, I haven't. There's no rant today. No rant today. It's been a non-rant stream thus far. But I was saying how I did quite enjoy Jasper's win yesterday. I dislike him less and less. I'm never going to be Camp Jasper, but he raced a hell of a race. I respect that. When you got a guy like Vanderpool leading you out, I tell you what, you better win. And I bet he feels that way some days. Yeah, probably the best place to go is see if there's actually a Foamy the Squirrel site, but I think we're close enough. Good stuff. Yeah, so I don't know what's cooking today on the tour, but I'll watch it tonight when I get home and get on the bike. Tomorrow the fun commences. Oh. All right. Get something on my face. If you're going to pick a day to watch the Tour de France, tomorrow's the day. I think what we're going to see tomorrow, I think one of two things is going to happen. One is Tade is going to take it upon himself to go for another win. The course looks brutal. Tomorrow's the stage with 4 above category climbs, I believe. I think that's tomorrow, not Saturday. Including finishing on Alpe d'Huez. So Tade may take it upon himself to try to win. Or he'll just stay relevant and somebody in the break will win. and he'll just let him do it because there's, he'll let somebody who's, Alaphilippe or, somebody who's so far out of the competition. So his inner cap is shifting and there's ink behind it. It's loose enough I can probably pull it. Because in all reality, he can just kind of coast to Paris. There we go. Not much ink beyond there, but enough that I didn't want it to be a problem. So, what's your take? Is it the break tomorrow? Does Pogačar try to reassert his dominance? Is it a case of everybody's tired and he just ends up at the front and wins anyway? I say it's going to be a break. I say he'll try to win. He'll try to win one of the two Alpe d'Huez stages. And the other will go to a break. But tomorrow is just a brutal day. Brutal, brutal, brutal day. It will be loads and loads of fun to watch. I mean, not that everybody's got 5 hours to watch, but it's going to be a 5 or 6 hour stage. And I think it's really going to be epic. Epic is going to be the appropriate word. You can probably, if you don't want to suffer through 6 hours, I get it. You could probably watch the highlights and it'll probably be good, but in solidarity, I will ride Alpe d'Huez tomorrow. If I'm not mistaken, it will be my 23rd time up Alpe d'Huez. You will think about watching it tomorrow. I mean, you put it on in the background. You put it on the background. You watch the last. Watch the last hour to 45 minutes. Like actually watch it. But there's 3 above category climbs. Before the last climb. Those are not. They're not easy. And there might be some fireworks. You just don't know. I mean, somebody could try. I mean, Pogačar could just decide, like, at 20 kilometers that he's going to try to pull a 200-kilometer break just for the fun of it. I mean, that is entirely possible. Is it going to be on NBC? Yeah, it's on Peacock. Yeah. I don't know if that means if it's regular NBC or not. But yeah, Peacock is NBC. I mean, the only things we have to worry about, what we have to expect, is we have to expect attacks from Evenepoel and Pidcock. Del Toro's going to stay where he's going to stay. You know, everybody's going to talk about steak sauce. I just don't think he's got it. You know, if we see steak sauce in the break, I mean, he's not going to be in the break, but if we see steak sauce trying to attack, I just don't see that he's going to be able to. He's not going to be able to keep up with Pogačar. Pogačar will easily be able to counter that attack. So we got to worry about Evenepoel, who was still 4.5 minutes behind. I mean, think about that. He could just let him go and say, yeah, it's fine. I'll see you at the end, you know. Yeah, NBC's, yeah, it sucks for non-mainstream. Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah. I mean, Phil Liggett's getting old. But it's better than the alternative, I guess. Christian Van de Velde is really good on the moto. Bob Roll, he's gotten a lot better than he was 15 years ago. Yeah, the guys in the studio, they could liven it up a little bit and like fire them all. I like Brent Bookwalter. But, you know, we're constantly reminded that, you know, TJ finished, you know, won the white jersey one year. Like, whatever. Whatever, dude. And that he's, you know, the EF director sportif. You bet I could do a nice job as a commentator? Probably pay better than this. If you've got Peacock, I highly recommend the Beyond the Podium Phil Liggett story. I mentioned it last week or earlier in the week. And it's the history of Phil Liggett. It's very interesting. If you've ever watched the tour anytime in the last 54 years that he's been commentating on it, it's really pretty cool. It's a 5-part series. They're all like 25 minutes long. I mean, heck, I watch you repair fountain pens, yeah? You'd watch my sportscast? I know. Like, people really watch me do this? Live tour reaction stream on Twitch? Oh man. So you want to watch me react to watching to the tour? Just talking about it here is getting you interested and you've never given it much notice before. This is an exciting time we're in. This is an exciting time. We have, I hesitate to say the greatest of all time, but we have the greatest rider of the last 50 years. For sure, without doubt. The greatest rider. And it's, now if it comes out someday that Pogačar's doping, motor doping, whatever. You know, then that's really going to ruin it. It's going to ruin it. I'd like to believe it's not the case. Years ago, you watched cycling, then Lance Armstrong happened. Yeah. And sadly, most of those years, I actually recorded every day's stage. And then I went back and I edited out all the commercials, created highlight reels, and I had actual DVDs with chapters to crashes, attacks. I mean, you know, they were beautiful, except they're all about Lance Armstrong, essentially. And they're in the, if I'm not mistaken, they are in the post Pantani era. So I would suffer through it if I could watch Pantani, but I never recorded those years. Pantani's the guy to watch, though. You want to watch old clips? Watch Pantani at the Giro. What is the climb? The climb where he has the same one where Pogačar had a mechanical. They both had a mechanical on the same climb. And Pantani just like freaked out. He was like, he got his bike fixed. He got back on the bike and he overtook everybody, but he didn't know. I mean, this is pre-radio days. Like you actually had to do your own thinking. And he didn't know who was in the lead. So he overtook everybody. He passed everybody on the climb to win the stage. And when you watch the video, he crosses the finish line. He doesn't throw his hands up. He didn't think he won. But he passed everybody. I mean, like a long ways. It's unreal. Now, of course, he doped too. But as they say, Lance was an a-hole, so that's why. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with myself after Sunday. Well, we got the women's tour starts. And we should all support that. I mean, after all, what, 2 years ago? The closest women's tour win ever. And it was seconds. And it ended up Alpe d'Huez. Demi Vollering wins the stage. Iga Adoma wins the tour by like, what was it, 4 seconds? Was it 4 seconds? It was ridiculous. Very ridiculous. Exciting stuff. Really exciting stuff. All right. I'm going to spin these caps out, and then I am going to cut it. Just want to make sure I get all the moisture out of the caps. Second tour. Let's go. Yeah, it's much shorter, right? Which kind of sucks. But, it seems to get a little bit longer every year. The women's race is totally, almost exactly as exciting. It is. It's a different, they have different tactics. It's very interesting how different it can be. I find that sometimes the attacking is a little bit less. But it's still good to watch. There's some really good racers. Is there a paracycling version of the tour? Cycling events from the Paralympics were very exciting to watch. Not that I know of. That would be interesting. Sadly, that would probably get even less press than the women's tour. All right. That done. Well, connection seems to, I shouldn't even say it. Seems to be a little bit more stable now, but I will still flip it off. Well, those caps should be dry. Drier. A little bit of a stain there. Heat mark or something. But these will be cute and good to go next week. What else did we do? Oh, we did, you know what I'm going to do real quick. Let's just look at these caps. I didn't look at these caps here. Or maybe I did. I don't remember. Well, that one's clean. That one is not clean. Get that out. Much better. No cap on a dust pen. We're good to go there. All right, so nothing tomorrow. Monday. I think Monday's a regular day. Monday, we're still here on Monday. We'll put this guy back together. These guys are done. They're going to go away. This guy's done. That'll go away. We'll put these guys together, test them. I need a new nib on one of those, don't I? Which one was bad? The dark blue. This one's shot. Let's take that out right away. The other ones looked okay. Put that up there next to our Esterbrook sack. Yeah, so we'll get these put together. Put that inner cap back in. Trying to think if I got anything else coming in. Maybe not. Well, if not, I'll pull something else. I got lots of Esterbrook to do, so I mean, it's not maybe the most exciting thing in the world, but it's the thing that a lot of people can do. And it doesn't hurt to watch it again and again, and we just shoot the breeze. And Monday we can have the Tour de France recap is what we can have. So that's it for me today. I'm gonna reboot that router and we'll see what happens. And I got a couple things to get ready for before the podcast, which will happen between 4:15 and 4:30. So do join us for that if you can. If not, we'll be back here on Monday. So have a good rest of your afternoon, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. Be kind, be well, and we'll see you next time. All right? Take care, everyone. Thanks. Bye.